You hear me talk about the mythical center a whole lot. You know, everybody talk about these politicians that Biden is moving the entire Democratic Party, or the left has forced Biden to move the Democratic Party to the left. First of all, as if that is an issue or that's a problem, right? It really isn't. But I want you to take a look at this, and then we'll take it on the other side.
Becoming a state in 1912, Arizona has never had 2 Democratic senators until now. One of those senators is a centrist who keeps independent voters and moderate Republican voters in mind in choosing to support broadly popular positions that are supported by large majorities of voters. The other is Kyrsten Sinema. The Washington news media incorrectly depicts Senator Sinema as the centrist and, in effect, regards Arizona Senator Mark Kelly and 47 other Democratic senators as out-of-touch progressives who, along with House Democrats, are to blame for pushing Joe Biden too far to the left. The center used to be defined as the place where most voters are. But, as our next guest points out, in the headline of his new piece for the Daily Beast, D.C. is a donut. There is no center in Washington politics. Joining us now is David Rothkopf, a foreign affairs analyst and an opinion columnist for USA Today and the Daily Beast. He is the host of the Deep State Radio podcast. David, this notion that centrism is whatever Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema and, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 Republican senators say it is.
Well, it's a kind of crazy notion. You know, there's this idea right now, blame the left for Biden's struggles, except in the first case, Biden's not really struggling. He had a very successful first year. His poll ratings are higher than Trump's were, and he won the last election by 8 million votes. But in the second case, on every single thing he went for, he had the support of those 48 Democrats you're talking about. And on most of it, he also had the support of Sinema and Manchin. Now, if you say blame the left, you're saying those 48 are the left, and it's just these 2 people who represent the center. Of course, it's ludicrous. In Washington, there really is no center. There's a Republican bloc that seeks only to obstruct this administration, and they're Democrats who are usually together except for these couple of people. Now, out in the country, it's a different story. And that's, one of the problems we've got. The politics of Washington has become disconnected from the politics of the United States. Joe Biden is a centrist. And if you go through the initiatives he has supported, whether it's child care, education reform, environmental initiatives, and so forth, they are all supported by very substantial majorities of Americans, Democrats and independents, the center and the left. So the critique is completely unsubstantiated and out of touch.
Rothkopf was much too kind. He really meant they're obstructionist Republicans, and there are Democrats who allow these obstructionists to succeed for a reason. And I always come out and I said, whenever we talk about too many Democrats are for functionally no different than Republicans. We know that's not a fact per se. But when we say functionally no different than Republicans, is that the outcomes becomes the same. The people who need, the people who should be served are not, and those that are undeserving get served. We have to break that cycle. Excellent piece. There is no center. Remember, whenever you hear somebody talks about going to the center, what they really mean is doing what is right for corporations, not what's right for the average American citizen. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.